This puppy rolling. There we go. Streams live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, one and all. We return with A Peaceful Future. A group who has done anything but created a peaceful future.
Listen, we didn't create war.
We're just in the peaceful future. We're here to wreck
This
it.
isn't peaceful. Last time we left off, the party, having spent the night at an inn getting a long rest, met with Shogun's replacement after Shogun would leave the party for temporary causes as he had other plans to currently chase after. Mion, played by Chaston, would join the party as their residential roguish thief, I guess you could call it.
More or less.
And would assist the party in... Would you like to interrupt me?
Nope, shouldn't.
Okay, thank you. Would end up leading the party to a few magic shops where they would learn a little bit more about the Tabaxi lands. The party, having gained a few potions here and there, learned a little information, would begin heading in the air blimp, or the Zeppelin, that Terias had attuned to, towards the city of Roscon, the capital of the Tabaxi lands. After bedding down for the night, while Terias continued to fly through the night, as he just wasn't feeling exhausted or sleep deprived anymore, Sigrun would finally bed down for the night, falling asleep in the same room as Sarah, as Sigrun guarded the door with her not only her heavy body as well as her bed blocking it. During this peaceful sleep, Sigrun would get a vision, a very, very long vision, in which she would find out a lot about what was going on in the world and what could possibly be happening, as Maya is tended to be always the character who gets future broadcast to her.
Yeah.
Because you keep picking up items that happen to do that.
My axe was forcefully turned into this special dwarf axe. Okay, I didn't pick it up. That was all I had.
It was that or something far worse.
Yeah.
So, after going on her vision trip, she would awaken, not really saying much to the party as she didn't get a chance as sirens began to go throughout the individual rooms, waking up each of the party members. As Terias would call for their attention on deck at the spotting of Roscon, a rather large 3-tiered city on a massive hill, surrounded by forests and rivers, was currently being burnt by a adult red dragon, or roughly thereabouts by the size of it. The party would prepare for combat, as Terias would slow the ship to avoid getting any closer to the city and catching the dragon's attention. The city could be seen for miles, burning and exploding, as well as the smell of smoke and charred flesh coming up into the air. Even the forest around it was not spared. You could see from this distance that the three buildings at the top of the city itself, the Great Library, the University, and the castle of Dibus Jr. were all destroyed and caved in. Poor Dibus Jr. just can't catch a fucking break after his father's death and rebirth.
After his father became that asshole. No, really not. All the bad karma's going to him.
But
yeah.
as the party, as the ship halted about half a mile away from the dragon itself, we come back to the ship in the air, heavy smoke surrounding them, but a clear vision that the adult dragon, not only was it burning the city, but now after a moment of looking around, many smaller dragons seem to have started flying down into the city and picking up creatures, as well as small buildings, and flying off with them. What would you like to do?
I land the ship.
I'm gonna be like, that might not be the greatest idea, because if we're on the ground and it sees us...
Landing the ship. This ship is not fast enough to fly a dragon.
And we aren't fast enough to outrun it.
So, we just can't be seen by it. And what are we doing right now? In a
We came-
massive blimp, we're being seen by it.
Well, actually, no. It currently seems like its attention is on destroying that capital.
At the mention of that, you notice the dragon has started to turn and is starting to fly towards you.
Land the ship.
We're landing.
Land.
I'm landing.
As the ship starts to slowly float down. For those who don't know, a little chemistry lesson. Zeppelins run on helium for the most part. Well, a helium compound, if I remember correctly.
Not this one.
This is a magic item, thankfully. So it won't be destroyed. However, the balloons can be popped and do contain a helium-like gas. So they will explode, but it won't hurt the magic item, thankfully. As the blimp slowly starts to deflate and starts to slowly drop to the ground, the dragon, realizing that it's landing, turns and goes back to the city, not realizing that this creature it sees is not really a threat to it. Because from its distance, it just sees a very large creature off in the distance that is almost to its same size, and it's somewhat threatening. As it slowly lands, showing its submissiveness, the dragon ignores them, going back to the city, continuing to burn, and explosions can be heard from the distance. As the thing finally lands on the ground after about 10 minutes of deflating, slowly lowering, as this isn't exactly the fastest of ships, it drops to the ground. Terias, I assume you shrink
yes.
it? Okay.
Yep.
As soon as you shrink it, the trees around where you landed are crushed almost immediately from the landing. This ship is still big enough and heavy enough to crush them. So there's now a nice little clearing where you're standing with collapsed trees all around you. What would you all like to do?
Nick's gonna look to Mion and be like, "Were we supposed? Was there anything other than selling the items we had to do there?"
No. My son was on the way, but I doubt he's made it yet. I mean, I sent the letter yesterday.
All right. Let's head to a different major city after we walk out of the line of sight of that thing.
Well,
Or we can try and loot the city and kill as many of the dragon's children as we want.
I don't.
Those are our
think-
options.
I think it would be best if we remained unseen, but we're here. Might as well take what
I
people
mean,
are leaving while they're free.
No offense, it very clearly saw us. It just isn't acknowledging us. So stealth is kind of not an option, but still an option.
Stealth is the only option.
Let
Nick's
me-
gonna look at the ground.
Airship,
It saw the
doesn't see
balloons.
us.
No, don't you worry. Let me do what I do best.
All right. Well, do you want me to go with you? I'm pretty sneaky myself.
No,
Not
I
I'll come.
Alright, yeah. I could use some gar-
But can't we just have a little fun fighting?
yeah,
what
if
we
you
can
wanna
do is
fight one,
we can
If you
draw
want
some
to
away.
fight the babies, you're going to fight the dragon. And if you want to fight
Yeah.
the dragon, then you want to die.
Let's
so.
all move together, get a little closer. We set up a small camp, stay out of sight, and then you two go.
Okay.
That way, you have a fallback point.
I will mention the ground is continuing to rumble faintly around you guys. Nothing's
Understand.
coming towards you or anything like that. You can see pretty clear through the tree line. It's not as thick out in this area as it seems that there have definitely been lumber yards set up in the area to help build up the city over the ages. But the trees are still set up in a way that they are still thickened.
Where's the nearest lumberyard to the city?
You
Would
don't
it
know.
be far enough away that would be able? Nick's gonna see the lumberyards, and they lumberyards usually have a small wall built up around them, right?
Typically, yeah, but they're typically made of wood.
I was just gonna say that too.
Yeah, red
I will
dragon.
say-
Not gonna be much good against wood. I know.
As you do look around, there are a few little cave openings that seem to go deeper under and do look like they head towards the city. much of the lands out here are all very subterranean due to the Yuan-Ti activity, as well as just general the fact of how the land has come together.
Well, we can hide in some of the caves. There's no guarantee of no cave-in, but we have supplies to last a few days in there.
Did it look like the city forces
Well,
were trying to fight the dragons, I'm assuming?
Most of the walls you saw from the first layer of the walls have been either collapsed completely or melted. You didn't really see anybody at this point, and you saw no magic spells being cast.
If we
Did-
get stuck underground, my axe can get us out.
That's true.
Presumably, it's a little uncertain, but it got us out last time.
So, and the
Did the
caves would
dragon
go
look
directly
like it
into the
had
city.
Any visible injuries on it?
Give me a perception check to see if you could would have been able to tell.
Sure.
Never gonna be able to sell this fire whiskey, am I?
I mean,
No, that'll be your last drink.
you
in the
want to light it on
entire
fire.
campaign.
This is a good city to do that.
Yeah,
12.
yeah, just make a Molotov for the red dragon.
Well, given how that stuff is usually made, that would be more than just a Molotov. You'd have a
Perception
fire
has
bomb.
been rolled.
I don't see it in the...
It's a 12. I can see
It's a
it.
12.
Why is it not loading for me in the peaceful future? There it is. Okay, we got it. Okay. You did not see any visible marks. You're not very familiar with dragon anatomy of that size, but nothing caught your eye.
Fey fiends and undead are my speciality.
And you can tell it is
Okay,
definitely
it's
not
undead.
one of those three.
Yep.
So what would you all like to do then?
Mion?
I'm down to start making my way. We can
Okay.
get to work.
Everybody else?
Sure.
Okay, so the party entering into the city together, or is it just going to be Mion and Terias?
Smaller groups are probably better, but
Smaller groups. I'll keep Sarah and Sigrun with me and let them go in, and we'll sort of just try and find a building that isn't entirely burnt down or melted, or but easy to lift up to hide in for a bit.
Okay.
Neon and I can, we can probably go as a duo. We're both, well, I'm small. Neon's
If-
quick.
Okay.
if the worst happens and we get spotted, I can use illusions to hide us. So that's
Fantastic.
It
I mean,
has-
I'm
it-
tiny. Literally just about anything is full cover for me.
Okay.
I can make a 5-foot block illusion. It'll hide me pretty well.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. So as Terias and Mion begin heading through the very organized trees, this was a very well designed orchard. As you can tell, the lumberjacks out here really cared about their craft, as the trees are perfectly lined up next to each other. And basically giving you a clear, out in this part of the area, the forest, it's not yet, but you can get clear rows where you can walk and get clear sight without any issue. It can pretty much see within about a half a mile, in all directions around you. So as you lot head out, we'll come to you in a moment. Nick, Sarah, and Sigrun, what are you doing?
Well, I already resummoned my Drake the other day, so I'm just gonna find a building for us to hide in for right now. Either one of the lumber yards, which may have a cave under it still, or a cave entrance near it.
Okay.
And I'll get the other two's opinion on which one we'd rather hide in.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can clearly see the small shack that the lumberjacks in this area did stay in, and you can see their lumber yard where they actually have magical tools set up to be working logs and such, but there's no one around.
I would advise we don't hide in the wood building with a red dragon that breathes fire.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That is just a suggestion.
But we could also loot the building and then leave.
Oh, if you want to do a loot and run, well, that's a different story. But caves would be better anyway because they are underground. Works better for my axe.
Alright, well, we can loot the building, rush out, go into the caves. Does that sound like a plan to everybody?
Sure.
If we must hide and run, then yes, fine.
Sigrun, I'm gonna just say this. I believe you could be able to fight that dragon, just not now.
Well, I might not necessarily win, and she puts air quotations, but I could fight it alone. But I have a job to do. She looks over at Sarah and she's like, and I'm going to do it.
It's also a good idea not to have you die immediately, since you're part of the reason we're still alive.
Oh, I won't die. Don't worry about that. She smiles.
Okay. So as you
Very confident.
look,
Nick is unsettled.
None of us.
What do you mean?
okay.
Sigrun just basically suggested she is immortal, and the only other
Well,
person who's ever
she
heard of
also
immortal
has
was
an 8 intelligence. Just throwing that out there.
So, as Nick, Sarah, and Sigrun, you're heading into the cave then, after looking around for magic items.
Yeah, looting for anything that we might be able to sell later.
Okay. What is
Yeah.
that crunching in the background, Cameron?
That's a bag. I'm making Angel some food as we talk.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, what the fuck?
He's cooking.
Okay.
Cooking while the city cooks.
All right. Well, then, I'll give Cameron a minute to cook. We'll come back to you lot here in
I'm
a sec.
good. I just gotta get it started now.
That's fine. Like I said, I'll give you a minute. Terias and Mion.
Yes.
It takes you about a good 10 minutes of walking, coming through the forest. As you get to the the exit of this little orchard, you finally come upon a good 20-minute walk from where you're at currently. You can see the city is fully cleared. Many of what was there looks to have been recently chopped, as if someone had been preparing for a large fire. As you can still see sap on the stumps freshly oozing out. You guys can see the city full from this distance. The walls, for the most part, are melted. Where it's not melted has completely collapsed into rubble. What would you two like to do?
Well, I guess we're making our way in now. Nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dashing from place of cover to place of cover, trying to
Yeah.
be as stealthy
I mean-
as possible.
Covering the stumps are only about a foot tall.
Yeah, and so am I.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, so
Dodge roll.
as you begin to kind of bounce from tree stump to tree stump, heading to the city, you can see the dragon is still flying around, burning, lighting the city afire, even though much of the buildings inside of it are long burned down and crushed. You see little dragon wyverns flying down, grabbing corpses and living folks alike, and flying off with them, heading north. As you finally make it to the outskirts of the wall, you do find a single tower. As well, to be fair, most of the towers are still standing. They're just the tops of them have been melted down, having the stone almost collapse in on itself. As you come to this tower, you can still see that there is a doorway on both sides of the wall. Not well designed for a siege, but seems to be designed for a quick exit out of the city if need be. Seeing this wooden door still standing and the bottom portion of the stone tower still intact, you could go around it and go through the walls and enter into the city at this point, or you could try or investigate the tower itself. What would you like to do?
Well, at the very least, I can open the door from a range,
That's true.
in case or anything, if that's what we're feeling. I can mage hand the door open from over here.
Yeah, try and get it open.
Yeah.
If it's locked, we'll
Okay.
find a way.
As you cast Mage Hand, the kind of and pull on the little metal piece of the door, it starts to glow for a minute at your hand's touch and opens up, and immediately you see around 4 charred corpses fall out, and the smell of burning flesh and burning hair kind of wafts out of the tower.
Well, alright then.
But nothing else is in there. Nothing seems to move or walk around.
Do we want to walk over the corpses, or do we want to find another way?
You can go straight into the town. The walls are melted and destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's head in.
Okay. You're heading into the tower or the city?
Does it look like there are... The tower is mostly melted.
Yes, the top two layers of it have melted and caved in at this point.
There's probably nothing...
Nothing
or
worthwhile.
not much of worth. Just mundane weapons in there.
Yeah, we'll head into the city.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head in.
Now, Mion, you've been to the city a few times, so you know the city's layout well enough. Where are you taking Terias, who's never been here before?
Well,
Sightseeing.
we're starting with any magic item shop now.
Okay. As you start kind of dodging in between buildings, walking through, you see the grounds, the streets themselves have started to collapse in, falling into the ground. And why don't you both give me a perception check? As you're kind of dodging building to building, trying to avoid the wormlings that keep flying down, grabbing people, and flying back up.
17.
It's better than mine.
Mion, as you're kind of distracted. You've never seen this many dragons, to be honest, Mion. This is end of the world kind of prophecy stuff that you've
I
experienced.
usually avoid danger like this.
This you're on with you being on such high tension, not really expecting this kind of an adventure from a small group. Shogun definitely didn't describe this when he signed on.
He didn't pay high enough.
Terias, I mean, you've gone through some of the scariest. You've been through dimensions. You've met a Tarrasque of otherworldly power. At this point, this is becoming a lot more comfortable to you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, well, I'm not a psychologist. But as Mion seems distracted by trying to avoid dragons, kind of as you both bounce from building to building, you notice in one of the roads where it has fallen down, you see something very large and scaly in one of the caves where the roads have collapsed, moving almost like a worm as it seems to brush by quietly. But you catch the glint of its scale being a blackened scale of some sort. And it is large. You're a man of physics. You'd guess mathematically, this is probably a 10-foot wide creature of some sort moving around.
Okay. Not super a fan of that.
Not at all.
10 feet, easily enough to swallow me very quickly. I'm going to... I mean, distracted as Mion is, I'm going to point it out to her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Point it out to her. Just kind of put a finger to my lips. And she's leading me, but try and motion to steer us around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mion, as you look over, as Terias points it out, you see the tail end of what looks to be a very large creature.
Okay, so it's not looking at us at least.
No.
Okay, that's good.
It looks to be underground. It looks like the roads are collapsing in on the tunnels it's digging.
Yeah, we're gonna make our way around that, so we're not gonna get near that.
Okay. Heading further in, following the back alleys where it's less likely that the roads would collapse from weight or the destruction of these buildings, you come across your first magic shop, actually one that you used to love to venture into, called the Cat's Paw. The joke was it was ran by a half tabaxi who had its hands cut off at one point during a vicious fight that the owner had gotten into, and used that as a moniker for his business. Upon arriving, you see, just kind of spying through it. Actually, give me a stealth check. I want to see if you can avoid.
If I roll bad, I will be using lucky to try again.
Okay,
Because I know I have to... Yeah, I'm definitely gonna...
you're fine.
I
Actually,
get to
no,
roll
that's
again.
high enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same thing anyway. I get to pick the higher, so yeah, 18.
Okay. So, you kind of stop Terias for a second as you peek around the collapsed building just to look into the shattered window. And as you look in, you see a dragon wormling. A little bit bigger than the ones you've been watching, but not to the size of what you'd expect of what you've seen in books of a young adult dragon. Grabbing all the items you see on the shelves, well, the very few shelves that are left, and rummaging through the stuff on the ground, and seems to start swallowing the items as it then flaps off and flies away.
Huh. All
Did it get all of the items?
As Mion looks around, there's nothing left in there that has any magical presence besides the dead corpse. That's
So yeah,
the
all-
last of him.
I'll make my way back to Terios. They're eating every magic item and leaving.
Yo,
They're taking all of it.
We can take a tiny one.
Yeah, but it's gone. That one just flew off. We're have to find a different shop that hasn't been touched yet, and then
Alright.
take one and be quick.
Mion would know. You would know that the highest concentration of magic items is definitely the palace vaults.
That's probably a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, I mention this because you were able to clearly see that the palace itself had been completely collapsed and burned to the ground. So,
Well, I'll tell Terios, but I doubt we want to go there, because that's probably where the most dragons are.
Probably. Do you remember any other shops?
give me.
I'm sure Mion would know a few. Mion's main thing is magic items.
Yeah, give me a history check with advantage.
I'm not good at history. We're gonna see how it goes.
They really need to put a stat in D&D that's just for remembering
Yeah, no,
specifically.
that's an 11.
You know of about two others. One was called the Dibus. Where's my notes? There we go. The Dibus Eye, as a joke for Dibus Senior, who lost one of his eyes due to a mad scientist's experiment on him.
Come back to life.
Yes, and the last was on the opposite side of the city, which was known as the simply just known as the Hot Springs Inn, that was well known for collecting and buying magic items from experienced adventurers. Also very well known for their hot springs, surprisingly enough,
Okay.
because they seem to have a natural hot spring in the city for some as well, and they had built this in a while back when the city was founded for that reason.
Yeah, so I'll look to Terios. Well, there's one closer, and there's one on the opposite side of the city. So we should probably start with the nearby one, Dibus Eye.
Yeah.
And then
Let's hit
if
that one.
that's not the case, we can make our way to the next.
Okay, we'll come back to you guys in a moment. Nick, Sarah, and Sigrun,
Yes.
as you
Mhm.
begin looking about the lumberjack setup, you find about 3 rations in the hut itself. Not much else other than some cooking utensils are left in there. It looks like this place was abandoned in a quick hurry as you find food that's still warm at the table.
Anybody hungry for breakfast?
Oh, I could go for seconds.
Okay, as Sigrun grabs the pan and downs the beans that were left in
Yep.
there.
I'll grab some of the bacon
Okay.
and feed it off.
As you lot look around, there's no magic items, and you don't sense any arcana coming from the hut that they sleep in. As you kind of open one of the back doors, you find where their barracks specifically was, where you find all the beds and chests that they would use to store their personal affairs. And after looking through it, as most of the chests aren't locked, you find a few drawings here and there of sweethearts, families with their kids, some basic commoners' clothing, and a couple of very simple axes that were just designed specifically for cutting wood, no magical enchants on them. I assume you're not going to take any of that stuff.
No.
Okay.
Nothing
Nope.
that I
Worth
think we
the
should
amount
take.
to carry.
I wanted to make sure. All right. After realizing this wasn't really the little hobble wasn't worth anything to you, as you head back out, heading over to the lumber mill, you see a few pieces or a few trees have been lopped up. Some have been cut down. A few look like they've been sawed down to the size of a quarterstaff. And as you look about, most of the magical enchanted items are just axes with +1 to them. And these are hand axes, for your information. Just so you find about 3 +1 hand axes just lying around in the wood. Definitely designed specifically just for cutting wood itself. And so if you fight, after identifying them, which I assume Sarah's going to ritual cast.
Sure.
because I was gonna say I don't really feel like I need to ask for this. They gain you advantage against Ents and other treekin or tree folk enemies, or wood-based enemies.
So,
Sigrun, you might be able
Oh.
to use those.
yeah, she's already grabbing them. You said
Okay.
3 + 1.
Hand axes.
Yep, okay. Hand
Throwables.
axe +1. Add. She's just gonna at least carry because they seem useful to sell at the very least.
Okay.
So,
All right. As you look on them, each of them have a different name written on them. Not for the item themselves, but probably for the owners who use them.
nope, they're for the hand axes now. Oh, they named their hand axes. That's peculiar. This one's name is she's like squinting at the. I assume it's a small common carving, right? It's probably not.
It's not
super
written in
big.
common, but
Oh,
uh,
what's it written
Ellis.
in?
give me a moment to find the language again, because I can't remember. It is actually written in Zakara, which is not a language actually available in 5e.
Nope, I do not speak it. I do not speak it.
Funny enough, they got rid of a few of the Forgotten Realms languages. But anyways, as I was saying, Fluffy cuddles Sprinkles. No.
Baxi, right?
Yeah, no. God damn it. Looking about, none of the wood is of any magical properties. This is simply just basic fir and oak wood, designed mostly for common household and quarterstaves.
And possibly
Standard wood.
Aeroshafts if I was skilled enough to whittle them down.
Yeah, there you go.
Standard wood, not magic wood.
Yes, standard wood. There is magic wood in this world, but you have to go up north for that.
There is magic wood.
So there is magic wood, and his name. He does have a name. He is in the Vidanlands. If you're ever interested. Brazzy got real acquainted. So as you lot look around, Nick, give me a perception check because you said you want to explore the cave. Let's see. What you
Oh, that's 13. My passive is 17 though.
As you walk over to the small cave in the ground, about 10 feet from the sawmill itself, you find about a 30-foot open hole in the ground with what looks to be some sort of granite-like rock material surrounding it. Looking further down, you can tell this cave goes on for a long distance and seems to curve towards the city. It does seem to curve at kind of a sharper angle, so you can't see too far. But you do see that it definitely does continue further down, and looks like it's been traversed before, as you can see where some stairs have been kind of carved into the cave itself.
I think I found where they might have gone.
Well, we should go in there then.
Well,
Sure.
it'd be safer than being up here. We can't get grabbed by dragons or burnt alive.
Unless they have dragons in the caves, but let's not be ridiculous. I don't
Cave
think they thought that
dragons?
far ahead.
No, we'll have to worry more about Yuan Ti, so you'll be in front.
Make this
Ah,
look
of
proud.
course.
And,
All right.
I
Yeah,
have
she'll take the front.
the
Okay.
marching order will have to be her, then Sarah. I'll be in the back with the Drake behind me.
Okay.
As we enter the cave,
Putting
Sarah
it-
will bring her armor out because she hasn't had it out yet.
Okay. All right.
Nick doesn't have dark sight, so he's relying on Sarah and the Drake.
You don't have dark sight, so you can't see the
vision.
dark. The darkness in
Dark vision.
people's souls, like you can't do that. Everyone else can.
He's
No, that's why
only
he's
the
hanging
light.
out with the people in our party.
Okay. So Sigrun, you're leading first, followed by Sarah, and then
Yeah.
Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't want the squishy ones to die now, would we?
Okay.
Well,
I'm the squishiest of us all.
Well, I guess
And I'm
Sarah's
supposed to be
AC
leading.
isn't squishy, but HP wise, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah.
hers AC is good, right?
As you lot begin heading deeper and deeper into the tunnels, the occasion you do start to smell something, Sigrun. You catch a whiff of it first. Give me a perception check.
Ooh, okay. Where's my perception bonus?
On your
Let me
character
find
sheet.
it. Okay. Yeah, but you know.
Just yet.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
Oh God, I'm. getting
Good thing
bad
it's a
rolls
pretty
again.
strong smell.
Yep. Ooh, okay. She's gonna hold a hand up to like stop to them, and she was told to be sneaky, so she's gonna motion them closer to whisper, "Careful now. I smell sulfur in this cave."
Oh, the
I
Tilk
look at my-
commercial.
I look at my Drake and Enderconic say, that means no sparks.
Drake nods as it really doesn't have a mind of its own as it's a summoned creature. And follows your
All
orders
right.
regardless. Okay. Sigrun, do you
Yep,
continue?
I'll keep going.
Alright.
Yep, I will continue.
Those with dark vision, you do see these rather large, as you go farther down the cave. About another 20 minutes passes. You can sense that, Sigrun, given your axe, you can sense that you are definitely heading towards where the city of Rosgon was. The occasional sound of rushing water can be heard off in the distance, almost as if there's some underground rivers nearby. But due to your dark vision, you can see the cave is definitely turning more and more yellow with more sulfur streaks around it. You also see a strange, almost black-like rock that seems to be mixed into it. You don't have any experience with this, what this is, and it doesn't seem to have a unique scent to it. However, around the sulfur, you do see large diamond-like objects that look to be around about a foot in diameter, almost perfectly cut, sitting in the sulfur.
A diamond?
Yeah.
Like an actual just diamond?
Like a perfectly cut diamond sitting inside the sulfur.
Yeah, Sigrun will just turn to them and be like, "Oh look, there's a perfectly cut diamond in the cave. I'll go grab it." And she starts walking forward.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah goes to check it out also.
Okay. Sarah and Sigrun, as you get closer and closer, this thing sparkles. It's almost as if someone cut it with their own, like spells. Kind of investigating, you can tell it's very much lodged in there. Nick, you're kind of just pulled along as you're holding on to Sarah to see. Yeah.
Can I check to see how, like, if it's like in the rock or if it's just been like placed in
It's
it?
part of the
glued
rock.
into it?
You can definitely tell. It looks like it's a natural ore of some sort.
Okay. Okay. I don't think my axe is gonna be the best for this part.
Yeah, Nick is whispering, don't touch it repeatedly.
Why? Why wouldn't we touch it?
You wouldn't
I don't know
know.
what that is.
You don't know what it is.
No,
But
but
it's
he's
not
been told that there is
cursed or
sulfur around, correct?
Yeah, he has.
He's gonna
Diamonds
straight up
aren't
state.
sulfur.
He's gonna straight up state, if we're in a cave with sulfur, and this cave has obviously been gone through and traveled through, who in their right mind would leave a diamond?
Someone
Who
not strong enough
indeed?
to get it out.
Who indeed, Cameron?
So let's leave it there and be safe rather than sorry.
Look,
Or-
you don't. What, are
or
you afraid
let's-
of a trap?
Or let's have Sarah identify it first then to make sure it's a diamond.
Fine. Identify it. But if you're so scared, you guys can wait outside the cave, and I can get it out of the rock. But then it's mine, and I will not be shared.
Yeah, does Sarah know anything about like this type of setup with sulfur and diamonds from any of her reading?
Go ahead
Yes, good old
and
sulfur diamond
give
trick.
me a history check.
Nick is using common sense, people. Do not doubt me for this.
Common? I speak that.
23.
Okay, let me find, because I think I sent it to Cameron at some point. I gotta find the exact
I'm having
information.
flashbacks of this scene.
Let me see if I can find that information real quick, because I don't have
Wait,
it.
I've been here before.
I remember what it is. I fully remember what this thing is.
I
Okay.
do too, and that's why I'm saying no.
Yeah, you almost killed yourself with this thing last time.
Listen,
alright.
it's a different group. It's fine. I'm sure Royce wouldn't reuse traps, right?
It's not a trap, it's actually a natural reoccurring
No,
thing in
it's
my
a real
world.
thing. It's just how it works.
I just really wish I could find the name of the,
Am I not allowed to hit it with the weapon? Do I
Yeah,
gotta
you want me
brute
to
force
say it? I
it?
remember what they're called.
PM it to me real quick. Because I gotta find the exact... I want to make sure I give Sarah the proper thing, so I don't want to be said that I'm not giving it proper information
This
here.
is what you told us it was called.
Oh, yes, thank you. So, and you got... What was your history check, please?
23.
23.
Yeah, so I'll say this out loud because I imagine you're going to repeat this anyways.
Yep.
This is what they call Dwarven Blasting Diamonds. It's an item more to the New World, in the Vidan lands. Basically, what they are is a very... they grow in the sulfur as a ore of compact sulfur mixed with gunpowder. Which is usually from Logalthus, which is basically a mineral that gives gunpowder when extracted properly. Also extremely explosive. These blasting diamonds are used for the most part to activate large explosives, as they cause not only a spark but also packed a punch relative to about 2d100 worth of damage on their own.
I'm gonna get one of these one day. I want one.
Nice.
They are also very easy to spark, and typically even the slightest bit of fire from even friction can cause them to ignite and blow up.
Like someone casting catapult on it.
Yeah, that would be an example of something most people would not do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Sigrun, let's leave those alone. Although Sarah
What?
will look to see if there's any loose ones anywhere.
give me a perception check.
What? Why can't I
Yeah.
grab it? What is the problem?
Very big boom.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea, though. Don't we want that?
Not when it's on us.
You
can
do
someone
not
open.
see any at the moment that are very loose. Most of
Okay.
these seem to have been left alone for a reason.
Yeah, no, we should probably leave these because this could set off all of these, which would not be good for any of us.
I'm sure I could handle it. But
Famous
fine.
last words for someone else who said
Nothing-
that.
want one.
Nothing
Nick,
fun
Nick,
can happen.
when Nick
with
hears
you
that,
two.
he simply goes, "You might be able to handle it. Sarah would not. I
Well,
would
I
not."
told you, you guys could step out the cave. I'll do it, and if I die, well then.
Yeah,
you know.
no. We're not splitting up any further than we already are.
What, you think they're just waiting outside listening to us talk about exploding diamonds? Hello! You could come and fight us, you know! She just like calls out the
That's it.
cave.
I start saying, "Let's get going." I'm the blind one
Sigrun?
here. You two lead.
Sigrun, give me a an intimidation check.
Oh god, okay, where's my
Ooh,
that's so
d20?
funny.
I'm rolling. Okay,
I think me and Wolf.
that's a
going.
13.
Okay, I'll
Got a
keep that in mind.
mediocre roll.
Nothing seems to answer back.
You're welcome, guys.
Bummer.
Bummer.
All right.
Let's
Alright,
keep
yeah.
moving.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll follow the group.
Well, you're leading the group right now.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I'll
Heading
follow the group's wishes.
I guess I'll be the leader.
heading further and further down. It'll be another 30 minutes, and we'll come back to you in a sec.
Okay.
Terias and Mion.
Yeah.
As you lot finally, after a good while, it takes you about a good half an hour to make a 5-minute jaunt, trying to avoid the creatures walking about. You see not only dragon wormlings, but you also see dragonborn with all red with full plate that seems to glow as they walk around. There's a small army walking about.
Oh, I know what's happening here. Okay. All right.
Do you?
I think I have a vague idea.
Okay. Avoiding these creatures, you manage to finally make it to the Dibus Eye, as the place is called. Arriving there, you find that the shop has been melted to the ground. There's nothing left.
Well, there's no reason to think the last shop. By the time we get there, there'll be anything left.
I mean, do you want to search the rubble or do you want to make a break for it?
Can one of us roll our con to see if there's anything left in the rubble?
In the building?
Not
Sure.
me.
Yeah, Terius can't, but
Magic.
Mion, you're welcome to.
I have a +2, but I can try. There's no reason not to. That's a 20.
Okay.
He says so sadly, that's a 20.
No, that's a 20. It's good, but I was worried because I only had a +2. I'm not built for this.
There you go. Also, I'm gonna grab that and add that to my materials before I forget about it.
Okay, I don't feel any physics coming from this shop. However,
However,
there's a lot from the top of the hill, the other side of the city, where I think the other shop was, and underground, which I'm avoiding at all costs, to be honest.
as we're underground.
Yeah, well, there's a giant
Underground
worm thing
meaning
here.
the palace vault.
DM, is that what you meant by top of the hill?
Yeah, the top of the hill, definitely, that's where you'd guess it was coming from.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
probably the palace vault, but I'm not fully confident I could deal with that, and if we get caught in there, then we're kind of doomed.
Fair. So,
The safe
we make
option's
break
the
for
other. Yeah, we head to the other one.
Okay. Takes you about a good hour of walking and stealthing and hiding throughout the city. As you manage to find enough back alleys and little corridors to hide through, you finally find yourself on the other side, and you see that the inn itself, the Hot Springs Inn, is fully untouched, while everything else around it has been burned down. Given your passive perceptions, you do notice the building is soaked in water.
Huh.
Somebody didn't want this place to burn.
Well,
Like someone knew something was happening.
that's definitely odd. What are we feeling?
If there's a monster in here, we gotta kill it.
I could
Can't
try to.
let it get back to Daddy.
If you give me a second, I can try to peek in, see what's going on.
Last time you peeked in and there wasn't enough time for us to stop it before flying off. Let's
Alright, come on.
blitz.
Okay.
Alright.
So proud.
As you look at this building, it's a 2-story building. That's technically about 3 buildings altogether attached to each other. The roof being made of some sort of like hay or mesh of some sort of like plants. The side of the building being made of almost like a stronger plaster like material with wooden beams, and you can definitely see the smoke, or rather the vapors coming off the hot springs, the condensation. There's the word I was looking for, and can smell the herbal medicines used at a place like this from this distance. Yes.
As we make our way in, I want to use minor illusion to make it look like the door never opened, and then when I close it again, I'll cancel the minor illusion.
Okay. As you head towards the door, not bothering to look through the windows, you find the door slightly cracked open already, and you can see that the lights, or the candle lights, are on inside the building. Do you still go in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at worst we escape.
Who's going in first?
I'll head in first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll close the door behind us after we get in.
Terias, are you going to do it quietly, or are you just walking in?
I'm gonna do it as quietly as possible, knowing full well that I'm not an extremely quiet person.
Give me a stealth check, yeah.
I'll have told him that I'm doing the illusion, to at least make it look like the door's not moving.
Stealth check. Get your stealth check. Let me scroll down. Oh, I have disadvantage.
I'll give the help action.
That's 2.
Ouch!
Uh-oh. Well,
So you got a
me yelling
3.
was bad.
As Mion, you're expecting this tiny goblin to be, he's a goblin and he's short. He should be at least
I'm
some good
wearing
at
full
stealth.
plate.
He slams the door open, and as it and his armor smacks against himself or itself, making a loud noise that anybody for a mile could probably have heard.
Well, minor illusion can make a noise. Can I use it to cover up a noise as well?
Yeah, you can make if you want to make another noise somewhere else. Yeah.
Is there anything nearby that notices his slamming of the door?
Well, if you wait to do that, then yes, there will be. So,
No, I'm not waiting.
okay, what are you doing? What are you casting minor illusion on? And what are you making? All around it, the buildings have all been burned down. There's not much around this place.
No, I'm just gonna head in after him and close the door.
Okay. the wooden door. As Terias, as you walk in, it's a really nice inn. Full tables made of a mahogany-like wood, all stained, very clean. Plates that seem to have been cleaned. You see an older tabaxi woman standing at the desk with a little lantern next to her. Kind of sitting there reading a book as she kind of licks her finger and turns the page as she looks up at you, hearing the door open, and goes, "That's unusual. I would have figured everyone was dead by now."
Nah.
Terias, remind me. Actually, let me check something for you. Because I know you have. Where is it? I'm just checking something real quick, guys. One moment. Where did you put that? Where is your thing for advantage on Fey, Fiends, and Undead?
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
It's part of my Blood Hunter stuff. So it's in my features and traits, but it's also the Arcana, History, Investigation, or Nature.
You have advantage on
religion,
Wisdom.
or-
Yeah, okay.
What? Yeah, Intelligence or Wisdom checks.
Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I was curious about something. Yeah, you see this.
Rakshasa.
Yes, it's a Rakshasa. I mean, it'd be a lot easier to disguise themselves as a Tabaxi, since they're so close in form. The Tabaxi woman, kind of younger woman, definitely by the looks of her, with striped fur, similar to a tiger itself, introduces her self. And let me actually pull up her character sheet real quick, because yes, this is a planned character. Yes.
I've been here before. Do I know this person?
Well, you will. Just give me a minute to find the name.
Okay.
You will when she kills you.
No, Mion's nice. Mion's respectful. I'm nice to people.
You'll see her in your nightmares.
Doesn't matter if you're nice, it matters if this person's
Oh,
nice.
no, this is an old friend. It's fine.
Because that's never gone badly.
She helps me hide the bodies from the people I murder.
How did you know that? No, I'm kidding.
Because I know I have her name.
Tanex
else is-
standing over in the corner.
Listen, man. All right, we don't talk about it.
Imagine the body. This is like a lampshade over the head. It's just standing in the corner, standing over there.
One moment.
Like, oh.
Not even a lampshade. He's holding up a rug as a curtain.
What?
I don't know.
I have so many questions for you.
I'm confused too.
We're talking about how Tenem would disguise himself.
I mean,
Lampshade or holding up and trying to fake a curtain.
I
I
can
just love the
confirm he is nowhere nearby. Okay.
I just love the idea of Tenem wearing a lampshade on his head.
Funny enough, you're gonna think this is someone else, and this is just a coincidence. Naza is actually her name. Not the same character. Not the same character. Making that clear now, Cameron. It's not the same character. Alright.
I'm just laughing at the coincidence. Leave me alone.
The woman introduces herself as Naza. She tells you that she is part of the Striped Fang clan, which is a well-known Tabaxi clan to pretty much anybody who knows anything about basic history. They are one of the leading clans of the Tabaxi and typically have had more rulers than any of the other clans. She, introduces herself, and then you see, for a second, Terras, you notice a small, large brown lump behind the desk kind of move. And then it stands on two legs as you see a giant 7-foot grizzly bear standing on two legs beside her.
Eric. Oh no.
And she looks at you and goes, "Oh, don't worry. This is Gentle."
That's his name?
Yes. Well, Gentle Orion, but that's because he's an Orion. I believe in common you call them brown bears.
Alright.
He looks soft.
He is
Will he
quite.
bite me if I pet him?
No, he's well trained. He used to be a hunting bear, but since I've retired, he has grown fat on the local fish that I've been catching. You can see the bear kind of yawns at that and lays it back down and goes to sleep.
Cutie.
She goes, "There's also a bird nearby, but I imagine he's probably not moving much anymore. How may I help you, gentlemen?"
Oh, yeah. There was a dragon. We were coming through to make sure everybody was safe.
Well, I'm quite fine. I've had to fight a dragon or two in my youth. As soon as I saw the giant red breathing creature in the sky, unlike most of my compatriots, I doused my house in water, or the inn in water, and began getting rituals cast on it to make it a little more protected.
As a reasonable person would do.
Anybody who has basic common sense, you'd be amazed at how many stupid people there are.
Truly, physics is amazing.
She looks at you. Okay.
Mia's gonna from behind her just shake her head, just like, no, don't. Don't start this conversation.
Can I assist you with something?
Yeah, what kind of magic items you got in here?
Well,
Terias just does a little air quotes when he says magic.
I don't sell them. The gentleman downstairs does. He is still down there, last I checked.
Oh,
He runs the shop underground. It's a little bit of a walk, so forewarning, if you're claustrophobic, I wouldn't recommend it. But those who know of him and seek him out have found some very valuable items. Though everyone always is so concerned that it's a fishy situation when I send them down into a cave underneath the inn.
I'm sure.
Which,
I
it's
have
fair.
no idea why.
She smiled, you know. They all think I'm gonna kill them, but if I wanted to kill them, I would just wait till they entered the inn and passed out. You know, it'd be a lot easier. You know how hard it is to kill someone in the dark in a cave where it's cramped and I gotta use a bear to chase you down? Like, it's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work for a whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Most adventures don't have anything that's worth my while. So, but the entrance is out back. There's a little cellar door you can enter into. She tosses the key to Terias and goes, "There's the key to the lock.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, feel free to bring it back when you're done. And if you die down there, well, no, I won't retrieve your bodies."
Yeah, fair enough.
Sounds good. Fair deal.
She nods.
We head in.
All right. As you kind of head to the back of the building, seeing the dragon is still burning the city. Screams can be heard off in the distance.
Just casually heading down.
Little slice of heaven.
You
Rest
see,
of the
Normal.
party's off in a cave.
you see a few of the red dragonborn in full plate are staring at you, but don't seem to approach. You see about 4 of them standing guard at the top of the hill, or at the top of this hill, about 2 houses up. They seem to be watching you. Not really. They haven't drawn their weapons, but they seem to be staring at you.
I mean, I'll leave him
These
be.
guys are getting punked by this tabaxi.
Yeah, apparently.
As you go to unlock the cellar, the lock pops off almost immediately. The chains fall to the side, and the cellar doors open, and you can see a stairway heading further down into what looks to be an underground cave.
All right. I'll pop the key in. Head on down.
Okay. As you head down, we'll come back to you in a moment. Sigrun, Sarah, and Nick. After about a half an hour of travel, you lot have been marching through this cave. The occasional drip of water can be heard. It's getting darker, if that was possible. Poor Nick still can't see a damn thing.
Drifting onto my Drake now too to make sure I have 2 points where I can make sure I'm between.
No, that's a good idea. And then having an archer that can't see is a very valuable asset.
Yeah, he's bait.
Hey, I can still cast healing spells.
He's bait.
Hey, I remember the halfling. He was great.
Shoot that way.
Can't see where you're pointing, just hears your voice.
To 3 degrees to the left.
As you lock
You're already on target.
heading further and further down into the caves, Sigrun, it begins to lighten up after about a half an hour. You've been delving deeper and deeper. One sec,
Good.
I do need to message you something.
Guess what? You fucked up yelling earlier. This TPK's on you.
And it's not gonna be a TPK. We're somewhere else entirely. 2 of us are.
I'm gonna awaken something that's gonna come after all of us.
Getting my backup character ready now because Maya's making me paranoid.
Yeah, Sigrun will keep on walking, although she's got her hand on the handle of her axe just casually,
Okay.
which she does a lot. So
Okay. As you head further and further down, the smell from Sigrun getting the occasional mist and that
From
wet
me.
fur scent
oh god,
is
yeah.
definitely not pleasant. Sarah at this point has been used to it due to traveling so long, but Nick, the smell of wet dog proliferates your nostrils right now.
Well, no,
Or-
I would also be more. Wouldn't be as used to it anymore, but it wouldn't bother me as much because my father owned a dire wolf.
Fair.
But I'm a boar, very different.
Similar smell.
Heading
Wet boar, wet dog.
I mean, you know what? Cameron will go out boar hunting sometime. I'll teach you what wet boar smells like. It's very different. But as you head further deeper down the cave, it begins to lighten. As you come to closer and closer to this corner, where you can see that something on the or around the corner definitely is either lit or something is on fire. What would you all like to do?
Well, we've come this
Can I
far.
actually see finally?
Yeah, you can now. You can see in that direction.
Let's keep going towards the light. It's gonna be a little bit better for me. At least I won't
Yeah,
have to worry about shooting one of you in the ass.
Sigrun did not stop walking. She's just still walking towards the light. So you're saying this to your Drake and Sarah.
As you come around the corner, you come to a very large opening. Now, at this point, you're about 100 feet underground from your guesstimation. Well, Sigrun would know based on her axe.
Yeah.
So you're about 100 feet underground. At this point, you're hitting solid stone, and you see two things. Firstly, a large cave opening. That's, you'd guess, somewhere around roughly 100 to 200 feet long and about 70 to 80 feet wide. Very large cave opening. And you see multiple caves that seem to open up into this area as you're looking, Sigrun. And as the rest of the party comes around the corner, you see what looks to be a line of cables holding lanterns, all lining the giant opening's walls. And in the center, you see large purple chains that make Sigrun look tiny, as they seem to be holding down on a limestone carved slab a giant dragon that makes this barely fits in this giant opening. You also see you see a tabaxi sitting at what looks to be a small little market stall at the entrance, or at the front of the giant dragon, and see him working, using the dragon's fire every once in a while on a little smithy setup he has down there.
Oh look, I might be able to get a better bow.
From a smithy?
Yes. Yes.
Some
that's
smiths
the-
do
that's
sell
my
bows that
first
have been
thought.
traded to them, so it's a chance.
Yeah, I guess if Sigrun sees the person, it looks like they have like a business stall, basically, like a shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sigrun will call out, "Oh, are you still in business then with the dragon attack and all? That'd be very convenient."
He looks at you for a second and goes, as he looks
Hello?
around the cave entrance, for a second, looking up and down and around. He finally sees the opening up above and sees Sigrun and Sarah and Nick and goes, "Oh, hi.
Hello.
I'm good."
Oh, wait, sorry. My apologies. Is the store still closed? Should we come back later? We were just kind of wandering down here.
Yeah, he takes a minute looking up, and at this point you also see as Terias and Mion come walking through another cave entrance and see this.
Hey,
Guys,
look!
Look at the
Hey!
magic shop. You guys are in the magic shop.
Hello, guys.
Sweet, we
Hey,
found it
there's
by
a
pure dumb luck. I'm
explodey
going
diamond.
down. I'm climbing
Guys,
down
there's
at
an
this point.
exploded diamond thing over there that they told me not to grab, but
Explodey
I think
diamond?
we should grab it.
No, it is
I
not a
love those
diamond.
things.
Do not fucking
I like
touch.
explosive.
I love those
It's
things.
like there's sulfur in the cave, and it's an explodey thing. But I say we just push the
It's
sulfur
diamond
out.
surrounded by sulfur. Let's just leave it alone, please.
No, I know. I've harvested these before. I love these things.
Please leave it alone for now.
Dwarven exploding cap diamonds, whatever it was. I forgot what the name
Yeah,
was.
that
I've used
thing.
them before. The blasting diamonds.
The man kind of looks at you all and looks very confused on what the fuck is going on.
Neon,
Anyway,
gonna
there's
calm
a
down
giant
at this
dragon
point,
attacking
ignoring
the
the rest.
city. If
No,
you're not
alright.
aware.
What? You
Neon's
wait.
gonna look at- Yeah, there's a
Big
dragon.
red
We got
dragon.
the key. We got the key from the lady upstairs to come down here and buy some items. But yeah, hey, what's up?
No, wait.
We
Naza's
just
still
came
alive.
from
What the?
lumberjack.
How is that
Yeah.
woman still alive?
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Oh, you guys met a
she's
woman.
dope.
Good for you.
She's really cool.
She's pretty cute too. Not gonna lie.
He looks at Sigrun, then back to and Sarah, and then and Nick as well, and goes, "Are you lot? I take it you're all together."
Kinda, but
Yeah,
we stayed
we know.
outside in the forest while they snuck
yes,
into the
as
city
a
that's being burnt
party,
down by a
yes.
red dragon.
They weren't supposed to be here, but yeah.
And to give you an idea of what this man looks like, real quick, so you see, he is definitely a tabaxi, as you can see his fur a little bit sticking out. But you see he's wearing very black robes, and he's actually wearing a mask on his face that seems to look very similar to a jester's mask. There's the image of him.
He's got blade hands. Oh my god.
He does. You do see immediately that he has two little like net daggers in his as he has his sleeve pulled up as he's working the smith. He has two daggers set to like push forward on his hands under the robe, or that are usually designed to be hidden under the robes. And the man looks at you and goes, well, welcome to Bahadu's Emporium. I'm gonna be honest. Didn't expect customers at this point.
Yes, well, you know, we were just stopping in town and figured we'd browse the city. In the rubble in the city.
Okay.
Lot of fire.
Yes, lots of fire. I kind of pissed off this thing's kids when I captured it.
Yeah, I figured that, seeing as that the rest of the city is almost entirely burnt down.
Oh, it is? Well, shit. Looks like I owe.
Yeah, you might want to
no,
relocate. You don't exactly have many customers upstairs anymore.
No, but I did bet Naza 5 gold coins that they wouldn't show up. Damn it.
Oh, then you better go see her.
I'm gonna look at the dragon. It's chained down pretty heavily.
Yeah, and Nick, since you know a lot about dragons, why don't you give me a history check with advantage?
Oh, okay. The Drake. I guess this is assistance from the Drake. This is great. I'm investigation with advantage.
No, history.
Oh, history. Oh,
Mhm.
well. They're the exact same thing, so that's the first one because they get the same bonus. 12.
Okay. Give me a minute and make sure in the future. No, did it roll in the thing? Or am I
Yep.
just not seeing it?
It should have. Oh wait, wrong character. That was the wrong
I
reason.
was gonna say.
Okay, history.
There you go.
Here we go. That's better. This actually has it. This actually has a +3. 11 is the best.
Okay, give me a
But
minute.
I
Even
got-
worse. Even
Yeah.
worse.
Even worse.
Let me message you something.
Apparently still high enough that I know something.
It's a dragon.
It's a yeah, that's
It's
the
a
message you
dragon
get.
and it's red.
Big dragon.
Oh.
Congratulations, it's a dragon.
Oh, that's. I'm gonna talk in Draconic for a second.
The man.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
So, are you a great worm or just as big as one?
Bahadu turns to you and speaks in Draconic and goes, "It was."
It's dead.
No. As you hear a slight chuckle. This, and he starts speaking in common as he kind of gestures, puts his sleeves back on, and gestures in a grandly to the giant dragon. Goes, "This was a great worm. I believe they you lot called it Lanetha, some crystal dragonborn something or other that was really famous. I don't know. Y'all said something. I remember reading something about one of your dragon gods giving birth to this thing. It wasn't very tough, to be honest. But
Quite easy to capture?
I mean, it was guarding a vault down here, and so I just kind of, showed up, tied it down, and now I use it as a smithy. Not a very good smith, but it's really easy to make good quality items when you use the fire of a great worm.
Oh, do you have
Seems
any bows then?
He looks at Nick for a second and goes, "Let me ask you something. How many bows do you light on fire to make?"
I mean, not many, but I've heard dragons can make bows out of anything.
No. Dragons don't make anything. Last I checked, at least.
You can make bows out of dragon parts.
Dragons make casualties.
They do indeed. This one did take out my team. I had 25 adventurers, and I'm the only one left.
Some of the best craftsmen in the world were dragons. Fun
He-
fact.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you mentioned
They
there's
were
a vault
great
that was
at physics.
guarding?
There was a vault, yes. It was
Is it still
guarded by this
somewhere?
thing. Well, I mean, and he kind of digs in his sleeve and then takes out a little, tiny little safe, and he hands it to Sigrun and goes, "There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
She grabs it.
That's
Try
the
to
vault."
crack the safe.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check to see if you manage to figure it out.
Steal it from me?
I
No,
mean,
the track-
Oh.
to try and see if you
that's
can
a
sense it.
29.
Uh,
29.
Okay.
you get the combination right. You can feel it as it clicks, but it doesn't open.
Mm.
And
Let
Malexia,
me try. Let me try. Sigrun's
No,
just gonna try
wait,
to brute
wait,
force the
wait,
door.
Wait, before that.
I will say this thing is the size of a pinky. Like, this is a very tiny safe.
I'd like to identify the safe first.
Okay.
I'm trying to open it with
Before
my
you try to
bare
open
fist.
it. Before you try to open it.
I will mention, Sigrun, it is too small for you to get your hands on the door itself. It is very tiny for you. You've got
Well,
big
mine
Little
hands.
thing. If someone make the safe larger,
Bahadu
No.
snaps his fingers and it grows
No, do not.
up to a foot size. And he
thank you, my friend.
Mion, as you cast Identify, you can't identify it. The spell doesn't seem to work.
All right, now that it's
Huh.
bigger, I'll try to open it with my fingers.
Not while
Okay.
it's in my hands. I'm putting it down.
Give me a strength
Hey, I-
check.
Okay, strength check. You got it.
Mhm.
Let me find my strength bonus. This will be fun. Strength check.
Strength is my specialty.
That would be a 16, and I didn't even get that good of a roll.
It doesn't budge.
It is stuck, this one. They jammed it. It is jammed.
He kind of you hear.
Mind if I give it a try?
Sure, feel free.
Yes, if that doesn't work, I'm going to hit it with my axe.
I wouldn't
probably.
recommend that. Bahadu looks.
Why not?
Well, and he kind of pulls out. You see him reach into a sleeve, and he pulls out a +3 dagger. That's the entirety of the tip is dented backwards. And he goes, "So I tried that. Doesn't work." And
So
can
it's guys, it is like the boxes in that Tarask Tome thing where you couldn't open it, and then when you did, there's a bunch of weird shit in it. It's like that. Okay, I know what we do. We go.
Is
and
it
find
already
a
unlocked?
different box.
give me a minute. Terias, yes, roll to.
Oh, yeah, I rolled worse. I rolled 15.
Still doesn't budge. He looks at you lot and goes, "Would you like me to open it?"
If
Oh,
you
if you
can.
could, that'd be great.
Sure. And he snaps his fingers and it opens. And
Why
inside
not
you
inside?
you see a little like a small or a bunch of small gold piles in there, little tiny items laying on it. It looks like a little dollhouse object.
Oh,
That's
you know
some
there's
neat
something
sleight
back.
of hand, my man.
Yes,
Good
yes.
for you.
I learned many a tricks from my trade.
So where's the Dragon Guardianess of all things? It's not that impressive of a gold pile, it doesn't look like.
He points behind him and goes, "Oh, apologies." And he claps his hands together, and the thing suddenly grows to around 50 feet tall and 50 feet wide, pushing you all into the wall.
Ow.
Can I dodge out
I
of the way?
see.
Give me a dex check.
The big shrinking. Okay.
12, I guess that's
Nope.
not
Wait, what is
Can
the
I
dex
stay
for?
where I am?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
I want to dodge.
You
Oh,
fail
it's
as well,
almost
Mion. And
impossible.
Terias, yeah, it pushes you. You feel the ground under you give way as you're all
being
shoved.
swished by a boar and a box.
He-
You're between a boar and a hard place.
He claps his hand again and it shrinks back down. He picks it back up, puts it in his sleeve, and goes, do you request, or do you need anything? I mean, you're here. My shop is open.
Well, I need a better bow and I need better armor. Which can you fill?
Well, good sir, you can request a value. You do not make. That is not a way of making requests. I was raised proper in the Nordlands, thank you.
Oh, you're from the Nordlands. I know the people a little bit.
Yes, I am a nephew of the former king by now. I believe his name was, and he looks, oh god, nowadays, I don't know what he would go by. Rufus was the last thing I knew, the history books knew him as, but that man changed his name to the Glorious in Nordic at one point. Man had an ego.
A lot of people tend to.
He nods and goes, you have no idea. By the way,
Huh.
you, fair features man, as he looks to Nick.
Yeah?
You're Nordic, right?
I don't know.
Well, given your features, your general lack of a mana vein, as you see a blue, two blue glasses seem to appear in the mask eye slots and then disappear. He goes, looks like you're definitely not from the Isle of Man, so I'm guessing you're Nordic or Nothies, but since you're not dark-skinned, and I'm guessing with a dragon burning everything, you would have gotten a tan. I'm gonna take a hot guess you're Nordic.
I mean, my mother's first last name was Swafian.
He starts to chuckle and goes, "Oh, you're the deposed king's child. Interesting. Huh.
Oh,
Huh.
you're related to a king. I didn't know you were royalty, Nick.
And
Nor did I.
as that, you feel your book get heavier.
And it seems like I now know a little more. I have a bit
Prince
more reading
Nicholas
to
the
do.
35th.
He looks about and goes, well, and he bows. I wish you better rule than your great-grandfather. But, actually, to be fair, to be better than he was would be rather difficult. But, I digress. You're not here to hear a tale of such. You lot ventured into a city being burned by a dragon, and are not terrified by this fellow. So I imagine you lot are adventurers of some kind.
I pat the drake that's standing beside me. Yeah, you
Yeah,
could say that.
call us that.
So are you here to kill me, buy my goods, or be killed?
I
Not
was
much
hoping to
different.
I'm
buy.
here for goods.
Yeah.
Probably smart. I would have hated to kill you all.
I
I
do
would
have
have
a
hated to
question,
die.
though.
Yes. He
That
looks to
dragon of
Sigmund.
yours, I know you're using it as a smithy, so it's probably important. But, if you ever got bored of it, would you let someone kill it, just out of curiosity?
Would you
Is
like
that,
to?
Yes, actually.
He looks at you and smiles and says, okay. And he kind of turns and puts his hands together as the cloak kind of holds together and starts walking towards the giant spikes in the ground that are holding the chains in. One moment.
I would like to go back in the...
I'm going to back away towards the cave that Mion and Terias came out
yeah,
of.
I'm gonna make my way back to that
No,
staircase.
this is bad.
What-
This is
what-
bad.
And you
What
see
about
him
the
lift the
ground?
first one out of the ground as the
It
chain
doesn't
flies
have to
off.
be now.
And
I
the
mean,
great
the
worm
puppy's
starts to
all-
move its neck. And he goes, no,
Yeah,
no,
come on,
that's
come on.
fine.
Puppy's all scared.
Carry us with me, come on.
He begins to walk to the next chain. Sarah.
I'm gonna
It's
say
more
draconic.
like,
No,
once I came
please.
back with better equipment, you know, I have to do this test of strength or provement of myself to a different dragon, and so I figured fighting a big one would help, but it's not
Sigrun.
now on the bucket list.
As you say this, you see that now Mion and Terias are gone. Nick has ran
Yeah.
off with them. Sarah, are you
Yeah,
still standing
everyone's
there?
running. Am I still standing there?
No, Sarah.
Yes.
Oh, Sarah.
Sarah's holding her ground and just says, I think we'd probably be better with maybe trying to buy some items right
Well, I
now
meant
and
that. I was
maybe
just
killing a
asking,
dragon
like,
later.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Once the weak ones are tougher, you know how it is.
Oh, you're tough? Alright. And he slicks it and knocks the second spike out, and there's only one left as the chain goes flying off. The dragon is now standing on two of its
It
legs.
was nice knowing you if you're
hey,
gonna be
DM?
that stupid.
Yes?
No, DM. After the three of us get in that cave way, I'm making an illusion so it just looks like a wall. Instead of...
I have true sight. This is not gonna work.
Yeah.
Nick looks me on dead in the eyes and goes, "That's not gonna work. They can see. Great worms are known for true sight. We're screwed. We just need to keep going back a
Yeah,
bit further."
shut up and keep running then.
Guys, I
Go.
thought you all wanted to buy items. Why are you running?
Sigrun,
Because you're an idiot.
Sigrun, you notice the cave has been closed that they left through. Sarah as well. And he goes,
Oh,
and
they're gone.
Bahadur goes, "Don't worry. It's only a great worm. They're really good magic casters, so you should be fine."
Oh,
As he
that's
gets
not
to the
fair.
third-
I don't have magic. I was thinking we'd like wrestle, hand-to-hand combat style.
Oh, I can. You know what? I imagine it's willing to. I can translate for you in Draconic.
Yeah.
Young lady, as he turns to Sarah and goes, Are you interested as well?"
I'm more on the buying the items side than fighting this thing. I mean, you'd
Oh,
lose
I
your
do have a
smithy.
thing to sell if
True.
you're interested in buying from us. I just figured we had to buy from you.
Give me a persuasion check, Sarah and Sigrun.
Both of us?
Yeah,
Oh
that's-
god.
We're gonna wait until we hear either calm or
You
screaming.
got so much for sticking with the party, Nick.
We're still nearby.
We're still
Yeah.
nearby so that we can collect your corpses.
Oh no!
Okay, hang on.
And Sarah's pulling a rope out.
I got a 16.
This is happening.
I got a 16.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me roll his stats.
Unless this person's a dwarf, in which case I get advantage.
He is not a dwarf. He is a
Damn.
Nord.
Dang.
He had
He's
fully
not
admitted he
Nord.
was a Nord. Oh, give me a sec. I'm just gonna
Nord the dwarf. Similar.
sneeze. Thank you. All right.
God.
That was a big one.
Dust in the air. He takes a second and stops and goes, "You don't want to fight it?"
Not right now. I was thinking of raising something at a later date. When convenient for
God.
you.
And you see as the dragon's starting to get ready to breathe fire, he pulls one of the chains, slamming it back into the ground.
I know, inconvenient, but the party has stuff to do they need me for, and you see how they are. She points out, like, the wall where they disappeared to. It's just, yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Things on my plate.
They'll meet one of my apprentices up there here soon, I imagine, as he slams
Oh,
the
good.
spikes back into the ground. Well, since you've shown that you are willing to fight a great worm, I'm impressed quite. I will give you a single boon that you may ask of me each. What
Oh,
would you like? As he slams the third spike, slamming the dragon's neck down even harder.
well, tough question. I suppose, being more sturdy would suit me. Well, I'm pretty impervious to most damage, but some of the magic, specifically the divine, still affect me a lot, and being able to shrug them off would probably help me greatly. That or, I don't know, being able to kill better, I suppose. My axe has served me well, though.
He takes a minute and says, "Okay," and he kind of reaches into his sleeve again and pulls out a blackened apple and goes, "Eat this, and you'll be stronger against the divine."
Oh, thank you. She takes it. Just takes a
Oh,
look
that's
over
bad.
it, like, curiously. And she takes a bite. I feel like
Oh,
Snow
that's-
White right now.
Give me a con saving throw, real quick.
Yep.
Remember, if
I'm
it's
ma- I'm
poison,
making a
you have.
It's
It's
not
not
poison.
Okay. The first one. And you said no, I don't have advantage or anything,
No.
right?
No, it's just a
All
straight
right.
con save.
So then That would be a 15.
Okay, I'll keep that in
Fancy.
mind. Okay. He looks to Sarah and goes, "And you, young lady, what would you like?"
This is a good apple. Nom nom.
You see Sigrun falls to the ground, eyes rolled back into her head.
Oh.
If you have any way to make me a little more hardy, a little bit more life to me, basically looking for HP.
I caught that.
Yeah.
The HP Orc Con combination.
Okay.
Same here.
He smiles and says, "Do you trust me?"
Yes.
He goes over to the dragon's mouth and pulls, and you see for a second the dragon's very much resisting and holding his arm, and he's struggling, and it finally relents, and he opens and says, "Climb in."
Oh God, Sarah.
Sarah hesitates for a second and does it.
Okay. As you climb in, the mouth shuts around you. Surprisingly, you're able to fit pretty comfortably, even standing. And you feel yourself suddenly bathed in fire. And then
Nick is gonna start heading back towards that cave
Give me
at
a
this
minute.
point because he hasn't heard screams of
You're
death
just
or
gonna see
anything.
Sigrun on the
Sarah, well,
ground and
give me a
Sarah
minute.
gone.
Nick, you do hear something. We're gonna come to you guys in a minute. Sarah, you begin to feel your body feel like it's melting as you pass out.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to you and Sigrun in a moment.
For reference, if it matters, I am resistant to fire. But
That is good to know. Okay. I'll good to know. Keep that in
You'll
mind.
die slower.
This takes longer than you suffer
You,
more.
Nick,
Good.
Terias, and Mion, you hear the screech of a woman coming from in that cave further down as you guys are heading back.
Oh, that sucks.
You two
I
wait
wonder
here.
which one of them died.
Yeah, no, you two wait here. I got it.
No, I'm
No,
running.
no, we're going.
As Terias continues to leave the cave.
Nick heads
What? No,
back at
I'm
this
not
point.
running away. I'm running towards.
Oh, you're gonna head back towards the Great Room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Nuts.
We'll
yeah.
even
At
let
this
the rogues
point,
do their
it's,
job. All right.
Okay.
It's
When I
Better
ran,
just
I was
to go back and
expecting
help.
them to run too.
Okay.
Now they're screaming back in there.
yeah. Nick was expecting them to follow, and they didn't at this point.
As Terias and Mion, I believe, who have dark vision, begin
Nope.
running.
Nope.
No?
I'm a human.
Oh, that's right, you are human. Okay,
I'm
Terias.
holding on to my Drake, and actually, I
Is-
can't ride them yet.
No?
I'm holding on my Drake
Even
and letting them lead me.
Story-wise, you let me be a half tabaxi, but I don't have the traits of one.
That's true. Terias being the only one who can see.
And my Drake.
Yeah, Drake can see. Begins to lead the party further and further. And as you come back, Terias, there's nothing there. The cave is solid. The exit's gone.
That's interesting.
Must be physics.
Must be physics. Absolutely. Some strange physics are going
It's
on here.
Schrodinger's cave. You know, it's there and it's not there.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to do, Terias, as you come up and see that there's just a wall? Nick and Mion, you just stop as you feel Terias standing there.
Nick's gonna light a torch at this point so we can
I'm
fucking
going
see.
to.
You see a
I'm just
solid
gonna
wall.
Start wailing away at the wall.
Okay. As you do, your axe goes right through it.
Oh yeah, I run.
As you fall
Oh, yeah,
through,
it's the illusion.
and as you look,
It's the illusion I had in play.
I'll
As
do
you-
like a Willy Wonka, like fall forward and roll and
I'm just gonna
jump
drop
up
the
and, like,
illusion.
As-
running.
as the illusion cancels, Terias already has rolled through and running. As you come into
Nick
the
is
cave
just
entrance,
sitting there smiling.
as you all come to the cave, you see Sigrun on the ground, unconscious, and you just see the man in the jester mask in the blackened robe, just sitting there filing away at a sword.
No blood.
Okay, is she dead?
I
Hey,
keep
look,
my weapons out. Where are they?
I'm gonna go.
Well, Sigrun's right there.
I'm gonna
She's
check
I'm
Sigurd for a
asking if she's
pulse.
dead. Let me finish
Where's-
talking,
where's
Curious.
ooh, party tension.
You wanna say something else, bro?
Let me finish asking if our one companion's dead before we jump to the next one.
I'm checking Sigrun for a pulse. Give me a second.
Give me a medicine check, me on.
Definitely not my specialty, but that's a 20 actually. Okay.
Sigrun is not breathing and is cold to the touch.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
Oh
They
God.
dead.
And Bahadu just looks at you lot and goes, "They're not dead." No.
Well,
Well,
they're dead as far
that
as...
one is dead, but as he points to Sigrun and goes, probably very dead. Been dead for a while, my guess.
Okay, where's the other one?
He points to the dragon's mouth that's closed, and you can see fire coming out of the nostrils.
Well, that's probably not...
Okay.
I'm running over to the dragon.
Stop him.
Oh.
Why is she in there?
You can't stop me.
How would you like to? How are you going to stop Terias?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the
You
Drake
can
step in front of him.
contest it.
I'm jumping past the Drake. I'm just
Okay.
jumping over it.
As
If you
Terias
get
kind of
bit by
moves
that
around
thing
the
and
Drake,
eaten, I don't care.
as you run up to the dragon, Terias, the maw has a chain over it. The mouth of it does, and it's shut completely. What would you like to do?
I'm going down the nostril.
As you begin to climb, you feel suddenly something on your shoulder. Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh my god!
What
You're
a
going
man.
down like an evil
What a
booger.
bro.
That's
What
a
a
20.
You feel yourself grabbed and slammed to the ground, leaving a small dent in the ground. And the man goes, I wouldn't recommend you do that. Unless you really want
Nick's
to
gonna-
die.
Nick's gonna calmly look at him, be like, okay, so she's dead. You think she's been dead for a while, which means before we even walked in here, she was dead.
Probably.
Alright. Why is Sarah in the mouth of the Great Worm?
She wanted to be healthier.
That seems
The man-
What's the
counterintuitive.
correlation?
Well,
That seems counterintuitive, but I'm gonna trust you on that
I
because there is
stand
no other
up.
way to do this.
okay.
You're not being helpful right now.
You're correct. It's not my job to be helpful to you lot. I can be less helpful as he pulls out a dagger.
No, we don't need to resort to fighting. More or less, we just need to wait for it to finish, and for either her ass to wake up or
I don't.
stay dead.
I don't think the young lady's gonna finish. That's the dragons don't typically do that. At least not at that level. At least I hope not. God, if these things reproduce, that's a terrifying thought.
Well, I mean, how do you think we got the other dragons?
I assume before they became something of this size, but you know what? Hey, you do you if you want a young dragon fucker.
The white sea,
Um,
you know.
He tosses a little bag of what looks to be little white crystals to Mion and goes, "Wave that under the dead one's nose."
Okay. I mean, I'll do it, but can you tell me what they are?
No, just do it,
Oh.
or they'll be dead before. They'll be dead.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I kind of want to identify one afterward.
Sigrun, you suddenly smell the battlefield once more, as your eyes just shoot awake and you find yourself back in this tunnel.
Yeah, she
Hey,
like
hey,
jumps
you
up
good?
with like her axe in hand, like ah,
Hey,
and
hey,
then she
no,
looks
it's alright.
around.
It's okay.
Oh,
We're good.
I'm just in here. Oh, sorry,
We're
I had
good.
like this great dream that I was like
Yeah,
fighting, and it was really cool.
Yeah, you were dead for a little bit. It's good to have you back.
Oh, it's fine. I ate the apple and I'm all right. Am I stronger now? She like flexes, sees she could feel a difference.
You did gain a +2 permanent to your con.
Oh, fuck yeah, baby.
So with
I'm
your
adding
base
that.
score, it is now a permanent 15. So, well, plus your other modifiers. So,
That should at least
Are you
she'll be
adding the
fine.
modifier then, Royce?
Yep.
or no? Okay. Nice.
Nick's gonna look at forget
There
his
you go.
name now. Crap.
Bahadu.
Bahadu.
Mhm.
Do you happen to have a breastplate I can purchase from you? Running around in stud leather, I prefer, but at this point, if we're gonna be dealing with things like dragons, it's not exactly gonna be protective.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend wearing a plate for fighting dragons either. It just makes you a nice little oven when they cook you. Also,
That's
speaking
true.
of which, and he turns around and you see him unchain the heavy chain and opens them out, and out comes Sarah, a little darker skinned than when she went in, but fully fine.
Sarah, you finish with your thing too. Look at this. I feel
Yeah.
alive. I feel sturdy. How do you feel?
Sarah takes stock to see how she feels.
Well, there you go. Oh, I'll message you what you got. You notice that you feel stronger.
I think I got the better deal considering all I had to do is eat food and you had to get eaten by a dragon. But we're both fine.
He looks.
See, you guys shouldn't have ran away, and maybe you'd have gotten spoons too, you know.
He looks
Cowardice
over.
doesn't
Spoons.
serve well.
He looks at Sigrun and goes,
Spoons.
"Oh, they would not have survived the thing you just ate."
Nah, well, that's fair. I ate the poison berries and I survived those. I think it's the axe Nick said or something. It's whatever.
Whatever.
He,
At this point with her.
he just
Nick
he
is
looks.
rubbing his face.
What?
Just
what?
like, Is this how
It's
people
not.
normally
I
feel
know
dealing
you're
with
jealous,
Kohe?
Nick. Nick, I know you're jealous, but I mean, you know, you did what you did. I did what I did. It worked out how it worked out, you know.
He takes a second and goes, "Well, I mean, to be fair, if any of you had tried that, you probably would have died."
Most likely, I'd rather
Well,
not.
to be fair, more dead, as he looks over at Sigrun.
Yes, yes. No. Is how life is. She just like shrugs.
And he looks at you and goes, what? May I help you with anything else? I apologize, I don't burn bows, and I don't have any plate. As you can see, I'm a man of simple, gear.
What about knives?
I do have a knife. But it does require a, special price. If you wish it.
Mm-hmm. And that would be...
Oh, simple. Kill one of your compatriots in here.
Huh.
As he says with a deadpan voice.
You know, I don't think they'd... I'm gonna have to drop that one. I don't think they'd appreciate that all that much. I'm kind of being paid to keep them alive.
Ah. Well,
Nick slowly puts back the potion that he's pulling out just in case.
well, I think that one was expecting you to actually betray them. But anyways,
Good to see where the trust
I
is.
mean, if she's willing to try, I mean, she can't, but I don't think you'll have much luck with me.
I blink at Mia and go, the guy that paid you tried to kill us, so...
And? I don't know.
he looks at you a lot and goes, "You mean goblin, blue-skinned, yay high?"
Oh, you know
Yeah.
him too?
Oh, lordy. Came here trying to get him to buy ion stones from me.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Also, he kept telling me about to kill someone. He asked me if I would, but I refused. Sorry. Anyways, if you're not looking for anything else as he goes to start unchaining the Great Worm again, I would recommend leaving quickly.
No, I got something.
Yes. As he stops for a second.
I got something for you, for a trade. If you got a sword, an axe, maybe a whip.
I might. Well, it depends on what you have on offer.
I can use a whip.
Khajiit has wares,
It's,
if you have coin.
I have this nifty little artifact here. This I pull out the ring of word twisting.
Oh, okay.
He comes over to you and goes, "And what would you like in return? Specifically."
Specifically,
Yes?
I'd like a whip or a latch of equal power.
You know, asking a smith to make a whip is a very unique concept.
Whips aren't always made of leather or cord.
That's true. That is very true. It's just not very often I get requests for whips. As most people... Yes?
Are you getting into new things there, yes?
Maybe.
You know, if he's into that, I
It's
don't know. how to
cause
use a
it's cause he met that attractive lady, isn't it? I bet it is.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend bending that one. She's got 4 kids and is very mean. Last man that tried, let's just say that bear has a thing for man flesh.
Interesting.
You know, Terry, if you were into the whole whip thing, you could have just asked.
No! No!
This is Leon's character. I gotta
Nick
remember.
is now holding him
I'm
the sides of his head.
exploring,
and going,
okay?
my God.
What, Nick? Have you not had the talk with your parents?
he's gonna look dead-eye at Sigrun and goes, "I've had the talk. I've had my times. I don't need to learn any further about any of this, especially about Terias'
Oh, but
sexual
I thought
adventures."
learning things is good.
It's always good to learn. I have this great book.
He looks at you for a second and stops and says, "You're looking for the Whip of the Dead, aren't you?"
Or something similar.
As he kind of starts to walk around you, inspecting you for a second, he goes, "A man of physics would have no interest in an item such as that. Why suddenly an interest in magical objects?"
Physics has brought me to a standstill.
Ah,
I'm exploring other possible routes.
how about this instead? I'll take your ring and I'll give you information that you are would be more valuable to your research than that item.
That's got to be pretty valuable information.
He nods and says, "Well, I've traveled the world, met some unique fellows here and there, learned much, seen things beyond, made a great worm my bitch. I think I've lived up to the tale. Though to be fair, this one was sleeping. Still ate
All right.
so many of my comrades."
I hand over the ring.
He smiles and nods and goes, "There's a man that you lot know, or have known of at least. Short fellow, white hair, different colored eyes. He researched the known world, the known universes, and unlocked information even the gods themselves would die for. You can find this information and all that you seek from a simple lab under the ocean.
Oh no.
Head to the capital
Oh,
of the
no.
Sea Elven lands, and from there head north about a day's sailing. At the bottom of the ocean, you'll find more information than you could ever ask for."
All right.
Man, Wolf, we're just talking about
And he pockets the ring, and then as he walks over, he shoves it down the nostril of the dragon. He goes,
Oh.
"That's also why you don't climb into the nostril of this thing. That's where I send things to melt and be kilned." As he looks at Terras and gives him a wink.
Good to know.
You said
I-
that you
I
didn't
need
have
some
any
light.
plate. But you did mention the Ioun stones. Do you have some of them?
I may for the right price. What do you offer?
Let's see. I gotta look quick. I don't remember what all I have. I don't have that much. I have gold. That's about it. I don't have any other artifacts.
And gold I don't need.
Nick slowly takes the horn of blasting off his back. What would I get for this then?
A good blasting from what I can tell.
What would you trade me for it,
Ah!
good sir?
He smiles. Nobility. No sense of humor these days.
Nick is smiling throughout that because he got the joke. It's just he can see what he's dealing with.
You said you were interested in a piece of armor, correct?
Yeah, something better than the studded leather I'm currently wearing, given that we've also been shot at, and I regularly seem to attract the main hits for this group.
Ah, not a very good fighter, I see. He walks up to you and
No,
goes...
I focus on range.
He kind of grabs the blasting horn and puts it into his sleeve, taking it from you. And he looks at you and goes, "This is going to hurt." And he just winds up and smacks you across the face as hard as he can. Give me a strength saving throw to see if you get knocked on your ass.
Hey, that's an 18!
You manage to take it like a man. You now have a really big red mark on your face. And all the rest of the party sees as a helmet appears on his head. You can add a helm of teleportation to your inventory.
Oh.
And he goes, "Enjoy.
That's a big
Thank
boy
you.
item.
I will warn, though, sometimes where you wish to go is not always the best idea."
Oh, I know that, given issues that we've had. I'm not going to attune to it now, because I'm guessing I'm not attuned to it.
No, you can attune to it later, though. And he looks back at Sarah and goes, "So, besides gold, what will you offer for an item of value.
I have no other items that I would be willing to give up currently.
How
I
about
have something. If you want me to put something on the table.
Although she does look at Terias and eyes the sword that she gave him.
I have magic items I don't have a use for, but I'd like something
The
as
3
well,
plus
if that's
1
the
hand
case.
axes.
Yeah, and then like the shield and the staff I can't use.
He takes a minute and says, well, I take all items in trade, but if you want something and you can't afford it, tasks are always requested.
Mion is going to kind of scratch her ears and then pull off her little side pouch that she's never opened to the rest of the party, other than once when she was given a potion of poison from Terios.
Okay.
Because there's a lot more in there. Well, you take magic items. What about rare poisons and such?
No interest.
No.
Very
No
easy to
polymorph poisons.
very easy to find poison in this realm.
Shame.
What kind of tasks do you talk about?
Well, assassinations, conquests, finding information for me. Depends on how valuable you find this item to you.
Really, any of those I would be open to.
To be honest, I get paid to do assassinations every now and then.
He smiles and goes,
I've been paid to go get the odd bit of information.
and
once in a
you
while.
wish for, what was the item? As he looks to Sarah again.
Well, I'd really like some better plate, but an ion stone of probably protection would be beneficial.
He takes a second and goes, okay. And he begins to whisper in your ear.
Only thing I have left now is the Staff of the Glutton, and I'm tempted to trade that here.
I got something I'm willing to trade here too.
All of my items are useful to me. I really don't want to trade them.
Yeah, unlike you, the rest of
I
us
have a
don't have
bunch
good
of
items
items
that are
to just
useful
get
to me.
rid of.
Well, my items aren't like amazing. They're just good for this character.
Offer him the fire whiskey, see if he takes it.
I mean, I
Yes,
can.
And he kind of backs away from Sarah and goes, does that sound fair to you?
Yes.
He nods and says, I'll have the item ready for you once you confirm the deed is done.
Okay.
And he nods and says, I won't be going anywhere. I doubt these dragons are coming down here anytime soon. And you, Sigrun, was it?
Yes.
The dead one. Yes. What do you
Yes.
offer me?
Well, I'm interested to see what you have, but I have these 3 hand axes. She like puts. I don't know if there's not a table, is there?
Yeah, there's a full-on
Oh, yeah,
table
he
set
puts
up.
it down.
He has a market
These,
stall.
which Sarah told me they're good for like treants, plant creatures, not much else used. They're a little bit buffed. I have this shield of Farsight. She takes it out. I can't really use it. Shields aren't my style, you know. I also have this staff. She pulls out the Staff of Withering. Supposed to be good, I guess, but staffs aren't my thing, and it's just inconvenient. And I don't know the price on this. I guess I'm looking for interested buyers. Pulls out the vial of fire whiskey. Looking to sell this. It's supposed to be a good drink, a very pricey, rare find. I'm just looking for a price range on this one. Or an item of equal value. It's supposed to be pricey. I'm sure there's good items for it, huh?
He looks over the axes for a second and kind of looks over the staff and then the whiskey and says, the whiskey, about 500 gold pieces, I imagine a bottle you could probably fetch around here. Not much, but most people will buy it for you because they're going to try and find out the recipe. For the rest of the items, what would you be interested in for a trade? What are you looking for?
Well, that is a good question. I suppose, I don't know much about the magic items, but again, things to buff me would be good. I know Sarah mentioned, the protection ion stone. I've heard of, like, these belts of giant strength could be good. Maybe even a good weapon. I mean, my axe is good, but it's always nice to have a backup, you know. Or, maybe something that can make me breathe fire. Like the dragon, she, like, looks at Oh, I guess Shogun isn't here. He had the spell.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
really, I guess I'm open to looking, but something that fits
At the-
my style.
He nods for a second and goes, I can give you information on where to find something of this sort. I can even give you one of the items you're looking for.
That would sound
in
very good.
exchange. Alright. I don't want the fire whiskey. You can keep that, as it's not of
Alright.
value to me. But I'll take your the items you've set here, as he kind of grabs them and shoves them down the nostrils of the dragon again. Don't worry. She can't feel it. Or she can, I don't care. And she takes a moment, or he takes a moment and reaches into his sleeve again and goes, would you rather have information or an item? Or both?
I mean, if I could get both, it sounds like a good deal to get both.
He hands you he pulls out a pickaxe and hands it to you.
All right.
I
I'll
just
take
added it to your inventory.
Okay.
And he goes, what you seek, what you're looking for, that will make your axe even better. You will have to go to the hells to find the forge you seek, as well as the anvil of souls that is no longer of the material plane. I recommend seeking a dwarf by the name of Hemescus. He should know more, or seek out a dwarf named Voss. He holds information that you would find useful.
Hi there.
I also recommend killing him if you get the chance.
Hey.
Um,
I'll put them on the list.
he smiles and goes, my recommendation, if you go to the hells to find this item, you'll find it on the 6th layer.
6th layer.
Yes, what you mortals don't seem to know much about the levels of hell is only, from what I understand, one group ever successfully made it there, and the only 2 people left alive from that group don't speak of it much. Well, one doesn't speak at all now that he's far north, and the other, well, I don't know that he can speak anymore. Anyways, seek if those 2 head there, and you might find what you're seeking. As he hands you the pickaxe and smiles and goes, should you seek out any more information, feel free to bring back items for trade. I always have items for coin. Or favors.
I don't mean to interrupt unless that moment's over.
No, he looks at you and he looks to Terias and waits.
I have one more thing,
He nods.
because I am looking to get a... If you don't have a whip or a lash that's artifact worthy, by all means, let me know now.
I did not say I did not have an item such as that. It's just that I don't offer to trade many items.
I put the dwarf crusher on the table.
He chuckles for a moment, looking at it and goes, I see you are popular with the locals.
Something like that.
Okay. You're looking for something better?
I'm looking for an artifact. A whip. Or a lash.
I don't have an item such as that, but I do know who does. And that would be very easy to steal if you could manage to gain it.
No, I don't need more information. I take the dwarf crusher back.
He nods and goes, well, and if that is all, I recommend heading up north. If you're looking for valuable magic items, I hear a bunch just flooded the market after the vault under Dragon's Gate was conquered. So, if you're interested, I heard a bunch of items were sold by the king himself to the market. Just small, low-quality stuff, but you never know what else may find itself amongst the pile. As I hear Chaston texting me.
That
What?
is true.
No.
Maybe I'll even be able to find a bow there instead of having to rely on my father's one for so long.
He smiles and goes, ah, yes. Or you might want to head to the Elven Lands. I hear they're more commonly used in users of bows. Although I do hear they eat people here. You have some weird elves.
Don't remind me. My father once said, oh god. My father once said he saw a snow elf eat someone whole. I don't want to relive those
Kinky.
I
memories.
don't think they'd enjoy eating me. I they hunt.
What are you talking about? You're a 3-day feast.
But not everything edible is edible more than once.
Bahadu kind of taps Sigrun on the shoulder and looking at Nick and goes, "What are you talking about? She is the feast." And he walks back to his forge.
You mentioned assassination?
Nothing for you, good sir.
Aww.
As he can't
sir.
figure out what you are.
You call me sir?
Question.
You look like a human male to me, yes?
I'm a woman.
I'm sorry for your kin.
Wow.
Question
Timidar is insulted and he's not even here.
about this pickaxe. When I hit things with it, does it cause many sparks?
Yes, it should, depending on the material. Please don't tell me you're thinking of blowing up the sulfur upstairs.
No, I was just checking. It looked like a very useful diamond, but if it's gonna cause sparks, I won't. Don't look at me like that, Nick.
Nick
I'm
is
not going
glaring
to
at
do
her.
it. I'm not
Nick is
going
full
to
on
do
glaring at her.
Gonna be honest, I really want that diamond.
Look, you could keep an eye. The pickaxe will stay on my belt for now.
If either one of you touch those diamonds and make a spark as we're leaving, I swear to God in the afterlife, I'm strangling both of you.
Miana saying out loud, I really want that diamond.
Listen, Mion, we come get to it later, right? Once our friend here has moved shop and we don't blow up his business, it'd be very rude. He's been very nice to us.
He looks at you and goes, "Thank you. Now have a great
Of
day."
course.
And he kind of
Well.
snaps his fingers, and you find yourself back at the sawmill, all together.
Wow.
Aren't you guys glad I said what I said now? You all were so angry and so cowardly and running away. Now look at us. We are extra strong and ready to...
At the
ready to
mention of
fight
that,
dragons.
you hear a dragon roar off in the distance.
We are leaving.
But we just got
Terias,
stronger.
get it set up. Should we
Uh.
run from here, actually?
We're getting.
Let's get further
a
away
few
and then
miles
set it
away,
away.
at
Set it up.
least.
Okay.
Okay, fine then.
Where are you heading? North, south, east, or west?
I'm gonna look at my map. He's headed north, so let's head towards...
Let's head.
We have to go to
north.
the Drowlands anyways, so we'd have to pass by Dragon's Gate, wouldn't we?
Well, the map is
I remember.
posted up there. You can look at it in the
If I
pins.
remember the map.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pinned.
we would.
All right.
Would have to go past Dragon's Gate.
Not in the slightest, unless
No.
you just go straight north. Dragon's Gate is in what would be considered the Siberian, which is far north, and the Drowlands are a northwest. More west than north, from where you
Oh.
are currently.
By the way, guys, whenever we're done with this drow business, wherever we're heading, it'll probably take a while, so like no rush. But I have to head to, I think it's Dragon's Gate. She like taps her head as if thinking. I think it is. No. Yes, Dragon's Gate. Right. I need to go under the city, but no rush. Just like, eventually,
Like,
preferably before the world ends.
You need to talk to Curry or something? What do you need?
No, I had a thing come up, and my dwarf friend had to talk to me, and he was like telling me this stuff, and it'll just be good, I think, for all of us if I can go down there. But I have to do a thing before I can go down there, and it'll probably happen in the Drowland, so no rush.
Who is this Kurgan that you mentioned?
That's the ruler of
Yeah, the king.
Dragon's Gate.
Okay.
Oh,
So
hey,
let's
I
head
like
to the
this.
Drowlands. Let's head northwest for now.
Oh, okay. So as you head up north, getting out of the forest and taking about a day's worth of marching, you lot spend the night getting a full long rest without issue. Getting
To the pickaxe.
Yep, there you go. Getting the Zeppelin set up, Terias, now that you're far enough away that the dragon is a small speck, and shouldn't eat you. Wait, Nick, since you're leading, where are you telling Terias to fly to?
Let's head to the Drowlands
First?
northwest.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, since that's where it seems like it'd be better to go, and Drow also use bows, so...
They do. As you start heading to the northwest, it's going to take you about a week's worth on the Zeppelin as it begins to speed up and get a nice rhythm going. You lot will all have a chance to do things as you wish. However, that is where we're ending today's session. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and soon we will see what the party finds in the Drowlands. See you all next time. Hopefully tomorrow.